our explanation, but that's okay. So Javier has a turn 3 kill.
With the either Vile can Vile in the Illusionist, Stoneforge can get the Suko, or is that how you pronounce it? Suko?
Yeah,
Shuko. And infinitely mill his deck, and then reanimate the Mimeoplasm to have the ability to finish the opponent off with the red cap trigger. And I think this game is actually probably going to be really reliant on this, obviously, the Brainstorm with Wilson's Keep, and also Wilson's knowledge of the deck, because whenever Javier leads out, knowing exactly how to interact with this deck, because it is a very rogue deck, will play a big part in how this game's played.
Interesting. Looks like Mike is slowly fixing the display to switch sides, because currently the things are not in the correct place.
Okay.
If you look at the labels.
I do. Okay, yeah. That does not look... I don't know. That looks like a pretty good Grixis control deck. We have Ponder to find our removal. Got a little card advantage with the Stoneforge Mystic. Yep. Things could work out.
I think he's just going to end up switching the things. So, which do you prefer, Starbucks or Subway?
Ooh. Opening hands aside. No, actually, I prefer the Subway. I'm not a big coffee guy.
Okay, then I'll take Starbucks side.
All right.
I am a coffee guy, so it works out well.
As long as the Dunkin' Donut people don't revolt on you, man. Aren't you from the Northeast?
I grew up in the Mid-Atlantic. I just went to school in the Northeast.
Okay.
But yeah, there were a lot of Dunkins in the New England area. All right. Looks like we have the layout fixed now.
All right.
So let's get this going. Mike, you might want to tab back.
All right, so we see the opener on the either vial.
Yeah.
This hand's great.
So Wilson, it is worth noting, one removal spell breaks up the combo.
Right.
Usually that's why you see Grand Abolisher in this style of deck, because Grand Abolisher shuts out all of the interactive ways you can disrupt the combo.
That's true. Especially if they go with the equipment form of infinite targeting. If they have the Nomad, it's a little easier to play around removal with the Nomads already in play.
Interesting.
Because you can just respond.
Javier kept a second Stoneforge Mystic. Probably playing around discard, if I have to guess.
I can see that. Also, against just turn 1 Underground, maybe can present and represent like some kind of Stoneforge deck, although the Tundra next to the Vial kind of gives it away. Or do they have access to the list? Or
these guys have already seen each other play a match already.
Oh, okay. So
we're deep enough into the bracket that they have a pretty good idea of what's going on. I'm not sure how much Wilson knows about Breakfast, but I think he knows enough to figure out how to disrupt the combo by this point. To be fair, we didn't actually get to see Javier get to do his thing, which is, not ideal. Wow, Wilson's
that was a great brainstorm.
So much removal. It's great.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to combo through 2B's removal. There's no real reason for Wilson not to leave the mana up for the removal, so...
Nope. And we can also just EOT flash into Snapcasters, flashing like removal spells or brainstorms or whatever back while leaving up the removal.
Yeah, so I think that might have been a reason for Javier to keep the second Stoneforge Mystic, just to be able to present some kind of threat in the batter skull that might tie up Wilson's or pressure Wilson's removal in some way.
So one danger of that is, obviously, if you're playing against Grixis control, they have access to Colligan's command. That's an extremely potent card versus that plan. Yeah, so I don't know who's favorite here. I think the advantage bar is slightly on Wilson's side now. That brainstorm was just fantastic. It was a phenomenal brainstorm.
Oh yeah, well, as stated before the match, we both agreed that brainstorm was going to be the match for the most part.
Yeah.
Because even if it was like catch some counter spells or force of will, it wouldn't be enough with the turn 1 either ball. So
nope.
Hitting 2 removal spells very crucial.
Yep. So here we see an different Stoneforge. The question is, what is he going to fetch? He fetched up Shuko. So what that should tell Wilson is that Javier probably has the other part of the combo in his hand. But also, what happens if you just counterspell the Shuko?
Ooh.
So you can't actually do it this turn, but he's just thinking about killing the Stoneforge and then counterspelling maybe the Shuko later. Although I guess it's very likely the Shuko will be deployed this turn.
Yeah, I think he might try and ignore the Shuko and go and attack just the Illusionist.
Yeah, that makes sense too.
Because using a removal spell here actually turns off counterspell mana, so this would be a good turn to get the Shuko in play.
So he goes after the Stoneforge, and I think that's okay, given that he has a Lightning Bolt in his hand.
Yeah, that looks good. The I would say a good draw here would.
Holy moly, that was a draw.
That was a draw. I was about to say that was a great draw. Wow.
Yeah, the best.
I was really thinking that the best draw right there would be a Nomads, because you could deploy the Nomads first and then redirect the bolt to the Narcomoeba to keep it alive. But Daze was equally as good.
Hold on, doesn't that not work if he just targets the Cephalid Illusionist? Oh no, you just keep responding. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah.
Actually, Nomads beats removal, right?
Yeah.
But
just damage based. Just damage based removal. Right.
Yeah.
That's why I thought maybe the.
No, you just respond to the first removal spell by activating your Nomads over and over, right?
Oh, if you have the Illusionist in play, yes.
Yeah. If you have Illusionist Nomad, beat removal.
Right. That's why I was thinking Nomads would be the best draw.
Yeah, Shuko being sorcery speed means it doesn't beat instant speed removal, but obviously this Daze just beats removal instead. So I think Wilson's going to make him play it out because he actually wants to see how it works.
Right. See it all play out. Make sure it all works on Magic Online.
Well, I think it works.
Yeah, no. Well, we're gonna find out right now. It's nice. I've never seen it happen before, so I'm excited that he's gathering the information.
So nice little sequencing from Javier. He casts his Stoneforge first in case something goes wrong to get Barraskull out of his deck before it gets milled. All right. Yeah. Wilson packed it in.
Yeah, that was clean. Grabbing that Barraskull. So sideboarding. What do you think is Wilson looking to board in for this match? Does he have any graveyard hate?
He does. Just keep in mind, graveyard hate by itself is not going to end all of it because of Grand Abolisher. That card is just excellent versus these sort of, it actually doesn't matter how much hate Wilson has if Grand Abolisher is in play. It's just a funny thing to note.
That's true.
It does look like Javier shaving down on his combo a little bit. He's taking out the counter magic, which I think is reasonable. And he's siding out an Underground Sea. Interesting. So he's going to board some True Names, a Lingering Souls, a Detention Sphere, and an Umazawa's Jite. Interesting. And a Palace Jailer.
And it looks like Wilson got some Surgicals, is cutting the Spell Pierces and the Baleful Strixes. Not much combat going on. Cutting the Bitter Blossom, Slow Clock.
Yeah.
Looking to add more interaction in the form of Spell Pierce. Really thinking about what else to board in. The Blood Moon gets cut.
He cited an Engineered Plague, which I think is smart.
Oh yeah, because you could just name the
Cephalid, I believe, is the creature type on Cephalid Illusionist. I guess.
Yes. Yeah, it is. It is indeed a Cephalid. I'm not sure the secondary type that might overlap with another creature.
It's probably Wizard. Yep, it's a Cephalid Wizard. So you can name Wizard. Not sure there's actually any other wizards in the deck. I don't think there are. I'm pretty sure Nomads is a Shaman. It's
That's
core Shaman, right?
Soldier.
Course.
Core Nomad Soldier.
Yeah. Okay.
3 types.
Shaman's Encore was a Shaman.
That's right. It was a shaman. Both the name and type.
Oh, yeah. That card was great.
No, it's funny because I couldn't guess offhand the Cephalid illusionist creature type other than Cephalid, because whenever I played the card, the older cards, they only had one creature type.
It is true that Snapcaster is a wizard, so we're unlikely to name wizard with our Engineered Plague.
Well, it's also possible that the Plague could... What we have, just one Lingering Souls? Okay, just one. It could also name Merfolk for the true name. So it's definitely a good board in.
Or Rogue, because that covers half of Red Cap, right?
Ooh. Yeah, you could double dip on that one for sure. That's what we're looking for, the double dip. Okay, what do you think about the Grixis control hand on this point being on the play?
I would keep.
Is it 6 cards?
Okay. No, I think one card's just off the screen that we can't see. He needs to pop out his graveyard to see it. But like that 6-card hand I would have kept too, so Javier's hand pretty good in the matchup, I think.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, I guess you'd fetch for Underground on turn 1 to where you can cast your Therapy and your Ponder.
Yep.
You have to work out that white mana if it comes down to hard gas and Lingering Souls.
Last card was Brainstorm. It's a good last card to have.
Good last card to have.
So if you're Wilson, what do you take?
In this spot, with the Power Blast to match the Illusionist, Force Will can also counter. I'd be definitely looking at that Lingering Souls as being trouble. Not really worried about the Detention Sphere, so maybe take the Cantrip to where they can't really, to where Javier can't really set up the other side of the combo while still being able to interact with it. Or, I don't know, that Lingering Souls looks like it's going to give him trouble, but you really can't take that. Just... I don't know. This is a tough Inquisition. I'd probably, if I were planning, I'd probably just take the Ponder.
I think I would also take the Ponder.
Stick with the known information that you have.
So, interesting. Javier actually invented this deck in Extended too.
Come on.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh. Got the man himself still making it work. That's awesome.
I mean, Javier's been on a hot streak this year. I don't know if you've noticed.
Oh, yeah. He top-8 a recent Grand Prix like 2 weeks ago or something, right? 3 weeks ago? Right before the league started? In Modern and Europe?
Yes, Sky Control.
In Europe, that's right. Yeah, that top 8.
Oh.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
Interesting. He went with Tundra for Ponder.
Ooh.
Oh, he sided out some number of Underground Seas. Remember that.
Oh, it did board out 1. That's right.
Yep, he played Breakfast in Pro Tour Columbus 2004.
Wow, that might have been the first Breakfast tournament.
Probably. That was like forever ago. So
I was there.
I believe you, baby.
That was the one that was won by Affinity.
Yep, Pierre Canali versus Shuhei in the finals. You know, Archon Ravager is someone's fairy's godmother.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so we got a second Inquisition.
Yeah, so he takes the true name because the Power Blast is not reliable because of the Cabal Therapy in the hand. Ooh,
right.
Aether Vial. Probably have to counter that. Or are we going to lead with Therapy?
Ooh, strong.
It's a blind Therapy. What do you think he's going to name?
Ooh. I could. Oh, wow.
Oh.
Yep. Brainstorm to mix it up.
Game. The Brainstorm versus Therapy sub game. It's one of my favorites, actually. Chat suggests name Deathrite Shaman. Probably do not want to do that.
Well, this is a really tough Brainstorm for Wilson because Wilson doesn't know about the Aether Vial that's coming. Because if Wilson does, then can probably suss out a Therapy for the Force Will and can hide the Force Wills.
Yep.
But just given the fact that he only knows about the Souls and the Detention Sphere, it's pretty reasonable to just keep one Force Will in this Brainstorm.
Oh, nice. Kolokin's Command was the name because it is actually pretty good versus Javier's hand.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, shout out to White Faces for donating to the stream.
Thank you, White Faces. Appreciate the support for the league.
All right, so he hit the Snapcaster Mage on top, which I think makes sense because that's one of your better cards in this situation. Another card on top, I believe, is Force of Will. I think
That's
we
right.
might see Wilson, EOT, Snapcaster, Brainstorm.
I was thinking that, or get out ahead of the Lingering Souls by discarding it with the Snap for the Inquisition.
Yeah.
To where your Jace wouldn't be under that much pressure.
Yeah, this Souls is an enormous beat. Look at Wilson's hand. It's just so poorly set up to deal with it. That's another card Engineered Plague is good against, actually. Lingering Souls.
Yeah. That's probably what on the top of the list what Wilson's going to be digging for with the Snap Brainstorm play instead of the discard, trying to catch it on the back end instead of the front end.
Agreed. And also, if you notice how Javier sideboarded, he took out all of his Force of Wills. He's just trying to outgrind Wilson.
Yeah, it looks to be pretty impactful.
Yeah. I suspect this Detention Sphere is not going to go great for him. Alright, so the push, not looking so good, but you might keep it as insurance. Counterspell also not looking great versus activate their Vial in the Cavern.
Now, one thing to note is Javier does know about the Pyroblast, so is not gonna be feeling too good about the Sphere as a check on the Jace.
Well, so he can still flashback the Cabal Therapy to axe the Blast.
Ooh, hit the Jace.
Basic Swamp, yeah, it is looking a little bit awkward here for him. There's a downside to playing with basic lands. Interesting, no trade. Love it. Javier just bluffing the Vial activations.
I don't think that play is made enough. And it's always a huge play to just bluff it.
Yep. The people I see make that play the most are Wesco and Right Soul.
How about this top deck Mimeoplasm? What's that one going to do for Javier? What creatures do we have? Protection from you. Can't name with the true name. I'm guessing how that works. Can be a Cephalid Illusionist, though.
So you could make a 3/1 Cephalid Illusionist. I'm not sure. Does it say any graveyard? I'll check real quick. MTG bot. From graveyards. Interesting. So you might get into a weird spot where you actually want to block the Snapcaster and make your Mimeoplasm a Snapcaster.
Ooh.
I'm trying to look for all of the lines that lead to really interesting plays.
Well, this card opens all of them up.
Yeah,
sure.
It's a weird card. So, if you notice, Javier's basically forcing Wilson to hold up Counterspell. I wonder if the second force changes anything.
Well, this could be a time to ponder to try and get that fourth land.
Yeah.
Knowing that you have 2 counter spells if worse comes to worse.
Yeah, I think you basically just keep any land here. Ooh, Colligan's Command, Ponder, Thoughtseizes, and he shuffles.
Has to shuffle.
Yeah.
There's already a second Vial out there. Otherwise, I might be tempted to keep that. He might have been tempted to keep that Colligan's Command.
Right. Interesting. I think I would take the... Probably take the Mimeoplasm.
It's probably the most threatening card here. Wilson already has a check on the Detention Sphere with the Pyroblast. The Narcomoeba could be another 1/1 flyer trying to get down on this race, but Wilson's already ahead on life in this exchange, so
yep,
no reason to push the issue.
I think the advantage bar is it's really close. I do enjoy that Javier has basically forced Wilson to leave up 2 mana for a bunch of turns in a row. But now this turn he's going to flash back the souls and get forced.
Yeah, it was great to leverage that souls flashback threat against Wilson's mana.
All right. Ooh, Stoneforge Mystic is an excellent draw.
That's a huge one.
Yeah, that was an excellent draw.
I mean, even we have Stoneforge to get Batterskull. Is there another equipment in the deck that was boarded in, or I didn't catch the sideboard on the breakfast side?
Pretty sure he did not side out his equipment if he's going for the grind plan, even though it's not great versus
Colgan's.
And in fact, we just see a lead off with therapy.
See, this is where the Force Will's a trap too. This is a tough spot.
Yeah. Wow. A queen 2-for-1. That's enormous for the grind plan for Javier.
Wow. Almost had to force, because I think it would have named Force of Will to get the 2-for-1.
Would you force pitch?
Or, well, didn't know about the 2-for-1, but to be able to land the Souls flashback.
Yep. All right, Jace. Kind of awkward looking here, actually. Like, you basically can't do it until you clear out one of the creatures, right?
That's right. It has a Fatal Push, but it has to wait a turn for that.
And, yeah, good point from chat. Javier originally saw Forcible from the original therapy.
First one, yeah.
Yeah, so just getting the second one was very awkward for Wilson, but it was very reasonable for Javier to name that card.
Oh, to name the Forceful, yeah, definitely. Aside from wanting to resolve the spell, did already know about one.
Nice.
Good call, chat.
We'll probably put Stoneforge in here because you know Wilson has Pyroblast, so putting in the Narc just lets him use his Pyroblast, right?
Well, Javier knows about the Jace and the Pyroblast, doesn't know about the push or the counterspell, so it might be reasonable to try and save. I think the plan probably would be to keep the Detention Sphere for the Jace in case somehow these tokens are dealt with.
Right.
And so if it catches a Pyroblast, then that's plays right into Javier's, Detention Sphere.
Yeah, it's looking. Well, there's a lot of top decking that could happen on both sides now, but I think slight advantage bar to Javier is what I'm feeling.
Yeah, it's really amazing to watch how he crafted this game too. Waited on the souls, held up the mana as you pointed out, tied up Wilson's mana, and then the brainstorm with the Cabal therapy, waiting on the therapy as well. Yep. And once Wilson showed no way to shuffle the deck, got all the cards in Wilson's hand, back in Wilson's hand, the Jace and the didn't know about the Force Will, but can assume that maybe that I love those games, the brainstorm therapy.
Yeah, brainstorm therapy games are very interesting.
But the patience there on that to kind of take the cover out from underneath the brainstorm that could possibly hide something that was already known. It's masterful.
All right, so you see Wilson brainstorming because I think he knows about the Detention Sphere, right?
That's right.
But here you could just get a clean kill on the Jace, just because of your Stoneforge Mystic being the third power, which is also kind of great.
Well, that's another cool thing with having the Souls and the True Name as a board in, because even the Shuko right here. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
The Shuko is actually threatening with all the 1 power bodies. Everybody, including the true name, just gets so much more impactful.
Oh, wow. The Palace Jailer might lock it up.
What are we looking at here? 9 life. This 1, 2.
Yeah. It's going very well for Javier. Yeah. I really like the way Javier sequenced all of his spells, waiting.
So he's looking at a Therapy, a Ponder, and a Recruiter.
Huh.
That Therapy looks pretty good. Can't cast it this turn, though, so... And the vial, no vials on 3, so it looks like no action really from that Ponder. I wonder if he'll shuffle.
I would not be surprised if he shuffled. Oh, he kept. Interesting.
Kept the Ponder, maybe looking for the land.
Just cast another Ponder. We're Ponder flooded now, boys. He knows about the counterspell from the Therapy.
That's right. So he knows that he's got a clean kill on this Jace with the full out attack.
Yep. So Shuko really good with the spirits. Obviously, really good deck as a combo piece, but it's looked really impressive so far. So also, if you leave back a spirit, or I guess this is Stoneforge, you can take the Monarch and play around the Monarch getting stolen.
Ooh.
I guess he could just do this anyways, and the Palace Jailer can remove Snapcasters, so that means you're guaranteed the Monarch.
Yeah, if you want to wait, you go. Oh, he's doing it right now, obviously, to draw a card.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking about, but I think this is just so safe.
Yeah, because even if the Snapcaster comes back, it'll be summoning 6, so you'll be guaranteed the crown for 2 turns.
Yep. I think Advantage Bar is way, way, way on Javier's side right now.
Well,
Need some miracles. The Don't Eat Quick is... is that good enough?
Well, for Cephalid breakfast, you always eat fresh.
Yeah. Recruiter for True Name is sick, right? Is that how it works? Toughness 2 or less? Yeah, that is sick. You lose the Monarch by getting hit. It's like King of the Hill for combat damage, essentially. Yeah, I think Click is too slow as well. It has to be combat damage, Honorog, not regular damage. Otherwise, the Kolgan's command could have just stolen the Monarch. Man.
So, looks like Wilson's got a Click here. That can provide a blocker. But is getting buried in card advantage. This plan of Javier to turn into a more grindy game post-board has really been successful.
It was quite good. So we lead with Therapy because...
we know about the counterspell.
Yeah, we also want the Ponder to resolve, but also it just gives you an idea. Oh, he named Snapcaster. Interesting. I guess he figures that Snapcaster is one of the few ways that Wilson can get back in, and he doesn't actually care about the counterspell, is my read on the situation. Also, is Recruit Red Cap lethal?
It is. If all this damage goes through, it is.
Yeah.
I was just thinking that. I was like, what can Recruiter get that's a 4-drop here? Because we already have the... Javier already has the Palace Jailer in play.
Yep.
That's right, it's the red cap. Maybe it is better than Walking Ballista. This is intentional. For the either Vol on 3, either Vol on 4 play.
Interesting.
Can't do that with a Walking Ballista.
So now we just respond to the click by activating Vial. The one thing is we have to be sure that he left in red cap, but I can't imagine he sided it out if your plan is to grind, because red cap is actually good in grind fest.
Very grindy, yeah. Also, didn't really board out much of the. It still kept the illusionist in, right, for the combo. So.
Yep. GG. Well played by Javier.
Is this? Yep.
Yeah. Wilson, probably pretty frustrated right now. But I mean, the days in game 1 was backbreaking, and that game, like, it didn't really look particularly close. I'm not gonna lie.
No, it never did, and a lot of that had to do with the way that therapy and the souls are spread out over those turns. They were placed really well because the hand didn't look that great other than the souls, but being able to split that up to where they were at their most effectiveness was well played by Javier for sure.
Yeah, I mean, breakfast / mid-range breakfast post board took it down.
And the days in the first game, that was a very good draw. But also, I think a Nomad would have done the same effect, because if you play the Nomad out there, you can vial in, and like you said, the Nomad beats the instant speed removal. Yep. So it's almost like a lightning rod. In response to the vial, you really have to have intuition that you can't kill the illusionist. You have to actually go for the Nomad. So, anyways,
by the way, we have a second raffle now for all of the Twitch chat. Something sweet's going to be given away. Oh man.